Hi, Soul Tribe. Trina Phoenix here. Sorry it's been a while. I've been very busy and things are moving very quickly in this world and the craziness of the times that we're in. So I hope you guys are doing well. And I thought tonight I would talk a little bit about love and get into the alchemy book and read a little bit from that and talk about it a little bit because I think this is beautiful information and I think it's something that we need to focus on right now and hear a little bit about is the power of love. And what is it? What is this power inside of us? This kind of explains it from a little bit of a different spin. So here we go. And this is from page 316, book 3, chapter 3. So, and it's love. As Christ spoke to his disciples, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. The right side of the ship is the right side of the mind. So let all who would manifest more love recognize their need for greater attunement with the almighty love through the record in heaven of the Father, the Word, and his Holy Spirit. For even those who do not feel the mighty heartbeat of universal love and who have been unsuccessful in amplifying its release on behalf of all life upon earth, can, through the heavenly trilogy, correct their deficiency, which I might add is not to be taken lightly. Unless you, alchemist of the sacred fire, would be adept of the mysteries, continually enkindling love. Love as compassion and kindness. Love as tolerance and tactfulness. Love as appropriation and support. Patience, long-suffering, and forbearance. Love as grateful and merciful. Forgiveness. And actively expand it as a flame of flower, a many-splendored rose whose tender petals unfold all of these qualities and so many more. The law of balance, as God's justice, will cause wisdom and power aspects of the threefold flame to be reduced to the lowest common denominator of your externalized love plume. I cannot honestly say that I marveled at the number of spiritual seekers who desire power over themselves for mastery and over other parts of life for control, while ignoring the great law that requires man to express a true and lasting love towards God and self and brother before he can possess both the wisdom and the power of that very love which gave birth to creation. Remember that just as God cannot be invoked in part, the unified, unfed flame, the fullness of the tripartite flame of power, of wisdom and love, must be invoked in its totality and completeness from the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, revealed by Jesus Christ. This, for it is focus of the divine whole, the all three in one, which these powers are within you. These are powers, these are attributes of what you are. So this is within you. You activate the trifold flame, the trifold power, which when all three are activated, you become the Christ. It is the focus of the divine whole, the creative spark of God's desiring within you. And no partial manifestation can generate the cutting action of the whole that arrests the light's antithesis, the darkness that would clutch thee to itself, torment, enslave, and possess thy soul. Only thy faithfulness to the Father and the Son, and hopefully and charity and in the spirit of the perpetual helper, will set free thy captive heart and release both light and spirit of the seeker from the dungeons of self-division and the divisive ones. Thus, day unto day does the glory and the power of God's kingdom expand from within the threefold flame of your heart. The rarest of all immortalis. Divine love defined. We must acknowledge that there are many types of feelings which are called love, but which in reality are not. In releasing our trilogy here, we slant our words not wholly to the advanced, initiate, nor wholly to the beginner, but to a median state where both shall derive the benefit. Therefore, again, let us define love as the words were framed by love. Love is both sagacious and potent, for each part of the unfed flame is complementary to every other part and to the whole. Yet, love in its essence is the very inmost beginning of God. For love in manifestation action is God in manifestation. That's awesome, right? Yet love in its essence is the very innermost beginning of God. For love in manifest action is God in manifestation. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. This love of God to us is fully expressed in the gift of the Father's presence within us, in his gift of the Son, who we know and love in Jesus Christ, in the Emmanuel of our Christ self. And Emmanuel means God with us. So of our Christ self, and in the gift of the Holy Spirit. Everyone who loves is born of the Spirit and finds love's fulfillment within this Trinity and the expression in every part of life. Thus it can be said, and truly, that he who loves not has not yet come into life. For he knows neither self nor neighbor, nor in the image and the likeness of love. This God who is love then sent forth to us the divine spark, the threefold flame, whose threefold attributes of power, wisdom, and love are all love's kindling light. The engrafting and the engrafted word that alone can raise us to the source, who is love beyond all love expressed. Truly, beloved, love is the Lord's holiness within us. And in his name we say, holiness unto the Lord. Love is penetrating and expansive. Love is enfolding and transmutative. Love is forgiveness and understanding. Love is wisdom and strength. Love is virtue and purity. Love is dedication and consistency. Love is all of the qualities of God combined with an added ingredient not yet fully known to the unascended man or woman, which for many reasons we can neither hear, define, nor unveil, except to say that the fullness of love is the very secret of life. Then they write a poem called Love's Secret Obedience. Power and wisdom garner love's intent, the fullness of God guidance. In the twig that was bent, inclines its ear to hear love's call, that shapes the tree of life so straight and tall. As spires rise to clouded heights, the power of love's obedient light. The diadem of life does shine, its grail-like motif making all divine. 'Tis love's excelling mortal plans, enforcing by obedience love's demands, that breaks the deathly sod and gazing upward sees the face of God. And that's the end. John experienced the truth as he wrote, that he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Truly, beloved, this is the perfect equation of God in man and man in God, the consummation of your oneness in the universal Christ. But John also commented on your perfecting of this love. Only the challenge of the Antichrist before his very soul could have quickened these words. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. This judgment is the dividing of the way between the real and the unreal within you. Your restoration to love's original premise, but it is also the climatic climatic cleaving asunder of light and darkness on apocalyptic scale by love's two-edged sword. Indeed, Armageddon is the day of your divine choosing to be your real self in the midst of the world wars of the gods. Whoa. Whoa. I'm going to read that one more time. But it is also the climatic cleaving asunder of light and darkness on an apocalyptic scale by love's two-edged sword. Indeed. Armageddon is the day of your divine choosing to be your real self in the midst of the world wars of the gods. World wars of the gods. Whoa. That's very, very, wow. Your boldness to proceed with this walk in love's aloneness, when all around you fools scatter and shatter love's creation, must be based upon aeons of faith, established through trust in the almighty love, to challenge the adversary without fearlessly in the defense of unity of love. This is indeed the initiation that must precede as requirement the alchemical marriage. To pass it, you need the intercession of Shamuel and Charity, the Lord's angels of love, and he shall send them to you, to your side, in answer to your call. Divine love, then, is the courage to defend love against all enemies, and to know that only love and love all one will sustain thee. Having so said and so done, enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Self-love, family love, and human relationships. Wow. Okay. Now, let us peer within the domain of the self of each individual. En of thine own self, which is E apostrophe En. En of thine own self. And perceive the meaning of self-love. And row by row we shall without fear separate the tares from the wheat, and the tares as well. And step by step, in love's own mastery, you shall mount the spiral stairs of love's degrees. Degrees, interesting, like Masons, degrees, different degrees. Selfish love is not self-love. That which seeks not that it may share with every other part of God's life, but that it may possess this life unto itself, holding people, things, and ideas imprisoned in the domain of exclusivity. Ooh, is but selfish love. I literally just saw copyrights, patents, all these things flash before my eyes, which is the life, but it may possess life, trying to possess life. I was seeing gene patenting, GMO foods, taking God's things and claiming them as their own creations. Ooh, apparently that's not a good deal. Oh, and now my ear is ringing super loud. So that's confirmation. So, wow. So, life unto itself, holding people, things, and ideas imprisoned in a domain of exclusivity. This is but selfish love. This is idolatrous adornment of the ego. Ooh, false idol worship. That which we seeketh, not its own, but another's good, drawing forth abundance, that it may expand the glories of life and share them with many, is a manifestation of truest love. This is true self-love, the love of the true self in all. That's what I've always known. Everything that comes through me that helps people to heal and do what they need to do, it's just like you're just like an antenna and you just give it all away. It's like you bring it in and then you give it away, and then you're always full because you just bring it in and give it away and bring it in and give it away, and it just flows like a river. And what needs to come through can, because you can process it. It helps you to process energies, which is beautiful to learn to release and let go. And that's something we all need to learn, how to bring energy in and then release it and let it go and process it, and to know which way to process, if you're supposed to ground it into the earth or send it to the cosmos. Use your intuition, trust yourself, because whatever you do will be right. So, okay, self-love, or the love of the real self, does not generate disrespect or aloofness. On contrary, it regenerates man's faith in the inherent good of all and teaches him, even while admitting the possibilities of human error, that error is in no part of the real self. When human mistakes, which are but temporary recordings on the chart of man's experience, are cleared by noble deeds and the violet flame, and all inequities are righted by the service to the divine justice, the fruit of unselfish action will manifest on an altar swept clean of all inordinate desire. For the threshing floor of the heart made pure will provide a suitable altar upon which the unfed flame will more than flicker. Its rising pulsations will expand in the rhythm of life to elevate all whom it contacts, commencing with the aspirant himself. True self-love is the foundation of all other relationships. Now, there are many forms of human love, and these relate principally to man's contact with other parts of life. There is the love of the father and the mother for one another and children, and the love of offspring and parents, the love of siblings, relatives, neighbors, the servant and his Lord, the disciples and the master. There is the love of angels, for the lowly of God, for his highest creation. The lowly? Okay. There is the love of angels for the lowly and of God, for his highest creations. There is love of the Guru and the one sent for every Shila of goodwill. And there are the Chelas loving one another, and the Guru positioned in every sector of the cosmos, singing praises unto the God-free beings who rule the spheres. And everywhere is love, unfolding the mysteries of life, patterning and filling. My puppies are playing with toys. Sorry about the background noise. Patterning and filling in the pattern of the whole of love. The great law has seen fit to charge the parents of this world with the responsibility for the bringings into manifestation the children of the Most High, who represent the third point of the life triad. It follows then the maternal and paternal influences and are destined and were so intended to be divinely sponsored matrices. The father person, representing the positive masculine polarity of the Godhead, has a wonderful and kingly responsibility for each of his offspring, whereas the mother, who nurtures and guards the young children from the period of conception through gestation and birth, has a very close responsibility in bearing wisdom's lotus flame throughout the life of the incoming child. While we are on this subject, it is to my earnest wish to clear up for all time certain misconceptions concerning childbearing in the world of form and the use of the vital and generative force by our sons and daughters on this path. First, let me say that unless there be some light bearers who are aware of the frightful opposition to the high souls seeking birth on this planet, who are willing in each era to offer themselves as vehicles for the incoming holy and advanced life streams, it would prove most difficult for us to assist in giving them the proper training from an early age, which the great law requires in order for them to fulfill their mission in this darkened world. Although it is now somewhat lightening and enlightening by devotees and the decrees to the violet flame, and thus soon to be recognized as freedom's star. Wow, the violet flame will be recognized as freedom's star. That is beautiful. In the name of heaven, beloved ones, the guarding of the body, mind, soul, and energy levels of incoming holy child is an awesome responsibility. It is for this very reason that many desire to sponsor such holy children at inner levels and to act as their spiritual guardians, some being themselves beyond the age of childbearing, while they may elect to stand, as it were, as godfather or godmother for incoming life streams. A good and necessary service. Let me point out that to the present hour, the natural process of childbirth continues on earth, and consequently there is a desperate need for dedicated fathers and mothers. It is true that there are a number of studies being given attention at higher levels to alter the present system of giving birth to cause the entire process to be painless and more immaculate, raising the earth's evolution to a new Christ era. Yet, we must be most practical to admit the power of God's love to flow forth through the embodied sons and daughters, both to generate and regenerate all life upon earth. Now, you cannot deny, for all around you, the evidence stands that side by side with the light bearers, the planet is filled with children who are obviously rebellious spirits. Many of these have been released by the lords of karma to re-embody in recent years, some of them having been detained for a considerable period in the compound, some since the sinking of Atlantis. Whoa, did you just hear that? Some of these have been detained for a considerable period in the compound, some since the sinking of Atlantis, others having been held in special spheres of assistance in healing temples awaiting rebirth. The opportunities and restrictions governing the life of each incoming child are determined by their own karma and reviewing by the karmic board to determine what dispensations of mercy may be granted. Each soul receives the approval and the seal of the Lord Maha Kohen and beloved Mother Mary prior to entering the etheric birth canal. The etheric birth canal. Remember, it is simply not possible for us to set aside cosmic law because someone knocking at the portals of birth deems himself wiser than he is. Therefore, the law will always act accordingly to God's justice, both towards souls awaiting their turn for another opportunity to make things right on earth, and towards those who pray for the opportunity to have them, as well as towards those who are mutually bound by the difficult karma, have no choice but to play their parts and play them well. Wow. Play their parts and play them well. The sacred use of God's vital energy for procreative purposes by those who wish to sponsor family dedicated to constructive purposes is not only admirable but commendable. I do not say that at all will or necessity should elect to pursue this path. So I do not say that all will or necessarily should elect to pursue this path. Certainly free will must govern all matters of marriage and procreation, for much is at stake, and the commitment is large. By a like token, do not think it vanity that desires to house and to nurture a grand life stream. Whether that life stream be a karma-free being or one of considerable attainment on the path of a great benefactor of life, let both parents acknowledge the pure desire to be simply and humbly the Lord's instruments. It's very interesting. When I was pregnant with my first child, I was so excited, and I had all these, dreams and plans and visions about how it would be to have her. And the Lord said, remember, she's been gifted to you for the guardianship over her, but you must remember she is not yours. She is from God. And I was like, whoa. That's pretty deep. God's sending me his child that I'm to take guardianship over, but to understand that this child is not mine. It is his. It is creation. It belongs to what created the energy, soul, spirit of this being. And it's like, you get to be a carrier of it, and you get to be the guardian of it, and you better understand how important that this is, but this does not belong to you. This belongs to me. I was like, that's very interesting, and it's true, because I know that I belong to that too. That powerful source of all that is. We all come from that. And it's like, wow, that was just like profound when I was pregnant and I got that information. It was just like, remember, you've been given this gift, but it's not yours. So care for it well, because you'll be held accountable for how you take care of what has been given to you. So it was kind of a powerful little lesson that I learned, and I'm glad I got that, because I did look at raising my children from a very different lens after I received that information, because it shook me. It really did. Remember, dear ones, that at the time when an advanced soul comes into an embodiment, there is always a scene of a parting at higher levels, and the full awareness that the mission of that one may or may not be successful. When entering a veil of flesh, there is never any guarantee that the individual will not, through some form of contention, become involved in a karmic situation necessitating around unpleasant experiences. Simply because an individual is highly evolved or a Christed one who was beloved Jesus does not ensure against failure. There is always a risk. The eventuality that one's friends who had intended to be the guardians and the guardians of his light will betray that light, then too, there is the possibility that associates will misinterpret his motives, discount his good intents, or ignorantly strive to force him from the ranks of God's service through impugnating his character, and in other regrettable manners fail to assist his holy purposes. Through misunderstanding and indifference, aggravated by the opposition of the sinister forces. Let all recognize that upon the earth body, in this present hour, there are children of light and children of Mammon. Although Jesus said, the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. Let all realize that the children of light must become wiser than the children of Mammon. Whoa. Although Jesus said, the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light, let all realize that the children of light must become wiser than the children of Mammon. Whoa. And that's the god of the world, the god of money, the god of religion. That's Mammon. I do not deny that some of the children of Mammon have behaved as children of light, and that some of the children of light have behaved as children of Mammon. This does not prove that the law is wrong. It simply proves the tenacity of the element of human discord, vanity, and sin. On the one hand, and on the other hand, the power of the Creator's inherent goodness that seeks to raise all life. It also provides that laggard qualities are contagious, and the vigilance is required to hold an immaculate conception regardless of what appearances may be involved, and to guard the heirs of promises from the astral contagions of modern life and bad examples parading everywhere. Certainly, virtuous motherhood, such as Mother Mary, offered is yet the requirement of the hour. Inasmuch as I am dealing here with the interrelationships between people, I want to point out that in the case of employer and employee, there ought never to exist any form of slavery or tyranny. It is as much the responsibility of the employee as it is the employer to see that his slavery does not exist. Therefore, let brotherly love continue. The word of the Lord, recorded in the 2nd chapter of Genesis, brings to mind love's enduring tribute to the creation of twin flames. In the white fire Ovid, and their divine love, which endures unto the blessings of all other human relationships. It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. Where he, karma, of twin flames, does not allow their togetherness in a given life. Does not allow their togetherness in a given life. Twin flames. They cannot incarnate at the same time. I have always been told this. And everybody else doesn't, I believe, but that's what I've been told. And I knew that my twin flame was up in the higher dimensions, because it's got to watch over me. So the karma, where the karma of the twin flames does not allow their togetherness in a given life, soulmates as partners on the path brought together for a special service also provide the polarity for the cosmic wholeness to be nurtured on earth in the complementary roles of Alpha and Omega. This statement from Genesis concerning man's aloneness has also been correctly interpreted as meaning, it is not good for the manifestation to be all one. Therefore, I will make individual parts of my all oneness. Or as the Lord promised Abraham, I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And so, let the love of the individual parts for one another and the whole exceed self-love and excel unto an expansion of love within the creation in honor of the Creator, finding thereby reunion with the one life which is all and in all. I will stop there and we will begin again with Christ love. Wow, that was some powerful, beautiful information. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Gives us a lot to think about and a lot to focus on. And a lot of us talk about being love and sharing love and expressing love. But sometimes it's good to learn different ways to look at love and what are the different powers of love. And how does love truly operate within this universe? And what is our part in that expression of it? So I love this information and I love learning about it with you all. So thank you for being here and much love. And I will see you guys very soon, Soul Tribe. And hopefully I'll be able to share some interesting, pretty pictures from Zion. So I love you all and have a great day or night wherever you may be. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. And hopefully this video uploads because I've been having a heck of a time and that's part of my absence. So hopefully it goes well and I'll be able to see you guys very soon. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye.